Welcome to another lecture. So far we have discussed so many things about basic and fundamental concepts regarding fuzzy logic system. Now it's time to discuss how this system actually works. Okay. So as you can observe in this figure, which shows a general architecture of the fuzzy logic system, there are four major components: a fuzzifier, an inference system, a defuzzifier, and fuzzy rule base. This fuzzy logic system works with fuzzy quantities. In our real life, we use many words which are actually fuzzy. They represent the fuzzy quantities like tall, short, high, low, medium, moderate. All these words are actually fuzzy quantities because they are not well defined, and their applicability depends on the context, depend on the application what about we are talking about. All these things are there, so nothing is well defined as far as these words are concerned. So this system works like this: we provide some input, and that input is received by a component fuzzifier. The job of fuzzifier is to convert the crisp input to fuzzy quantities. Then inference engine works with those fuzzy quantities based on some rules which are available in this database, and accordingly some actions are taken, some results are obtained, those results are combined, and some conclusion is drawn, and based on that we have to decide some output. But output cannot be fuzzy, it should be some crisp value. So results which are actually fuzzy values, they are again converted back to the crisp values with the help of a defuzzifier. So this role of the defuzzifier is to convert fuzzy quantities to crisp quantities. On the other hand, fuzzifier, it converts crisp input to fuzzy quantities. Okay. Then fuzzy system works on those fuzzy quantities with the help of some given rules which are designed by the developers. Okay. So this is the workflow. First of all, we need to initialize the process. That is, we have to define the linguistic variables like high, low, medium. Those kind of variables are defined. Then in order to convert crisp input to these linguistic variables, we need some membership function. So a membership fuzzy logic, a membership function is designed, and it is designed with the help of some expert knowledge, expert opinion, and then we have to design a rule base. Okay. So after the initialization process, we have to convert the crisp input values to fuzzy values with the help of a fuzzifier. Then we evaluate the rules, we combine the results, and finally we convert the results to a crisp output with the help of a defuzzifier. For example, this figure shows a fuzzy logic system to control the air conditioner. Okay. The job of this controller is to maintain a particular room temperature. Okay. So we provide a target room temperature value. Here this is the input, and room temperature value is could be a crisp value. Okay, we have to supply that we have to maintain room temperature at 30 degrees C or 25 degrees C, whatever. So that value is a crisp value, and that is provided as the target temperature to fuzzy logic system. So this fuzzy logic system measures the room temperature, rather a different component is used to measure the room temperature, and that is also provided to the fuzzy logic system. So this fuzzy logic system converts the target value and room temperature to some fuzzy quantities. Those are compared based on some rule based actions are taken, and that is provided in the form of a command to the air conditioner. That is, the fuzzy logic system decides whether to cool down or to increase the temperature, or air conditioner should make no change at all. Okay. So these type of commands are provided by the fuzzy logic system to the air conditioner. Okay. So here target temperature and room temperature both are the crisp values. These are converted with the help of a fuzzifier to the fuzzy quantities. Okay. So based on those fuzzy quantities, the fuzzy logic system decides whether the room temperature is low or it is high or it is normal. Normal means the temperature required by the user. Okay. So based on that, with the help of rule base, a command is generated by the fuzzy logic system, and air conditioner takes action accordingly to cool it or to make no change in the temperature. So let us discuss these components in detail one by one. So first component of the fuzzy system is fuzzifier. Okay. Fuzzifier is the process of converting crisp values to the fuzzy quantities as mentioned earlier, and there are many methods to perform this job. There are many methods to convert crisp values to fuzzy values. So some of these methods we will discuss here. One such method is intuition. That is, we convert crisp values to fuzzy values based on our intuition. Here by intuition we mean knowledge. The knowledge we have, which is known as the human common sense, that is used to decide whether a particular crisp value, if this is the case of air conditioner, a particular temperature is low or it is high or it is normal. Low, high and normal, these are the fuzzy quantities. So a particular crisp value, suppose 25 degrees C, is low or it is high or it is normal, it is decided according to our own common sense or our own knowledge. So this is a simple example, but for complex applications, if we are designing a fuzzifier based on our own intelligence, our own intuition, then we must have an in-depth knowledge of that application, so that we could generate the proper fuzzy values against the crisp values. Okay. Okay. So I will explain this with the help of an example. Let us consider this problem: weights of men. Okay. We have to decide whether a particular man is light, heavy, or medium weight. So here we can use our common sense, our intelligence, our knowledge to decide that a particular man is lightweight, medium, or heavyweight. Okay. So we say that a man under 40 is definitely a very light man. Okay. And as soon as we approach towards 50 kg, then degree of membership to this category, to this fuzzy value very light decreases up to around 42 43. The degree of membership we decided to be 1. Here we can say that definitely that man is very lightweight, okay. But as it approaches towards 50 kg, we decrease the degree of membership, and at 50 it becomes 0, because at 50 we say that that particular person, that particular man is not very light, it is lightweight, okay. So 50 to 65 we say that a man is a lightweight with a degree of membership, and that is with full surety, with full assurance, we say that a particular man is a lightweight man, okay. But as it approaches towards 70, we decrease the degree of membership, and at 70 it becomes 0, because we say that at 70 the man is a medium weight person, not a lightweight person, okay. So from 70 to 85 we say that definitely a man is a medium weight person, but as the weight approaches towards the 90, we decrease the degree of membership, and at 90 it becomes 0, okay. So at 90 plus we say that definitely a man is a heavyweight person, okay. So in this way we can use our own common sense, our own intelligence, or our own knowledge to develop the membership functions for a particular problem. Another well-known method is inference. Inference is also known as deductive reasoning, okay. In this case we use one or more statements to arrive to some conclusion, okay. We perform kind of forward reasoning. Suppose I say that suppose there is a statement, all the students in this class are male, okay. The statement is all the students in this class are male. Then there is another statement, X is a student of this class. So here we have two statements. One statement, all the students in this class are male, and second statement, X is a student of this class. So by using forward reasoning or deductive reasoning or inference, whatever you say, we can say that X is a male, okay, and we say it with full assurance, okay, because this is the logical conclusion. If all the students in this class are male and X is a student of this class, then definitely X is a male. So we arrive some conclusion with the help of some other statements, and that conclusion is perfect. That is, we state that that output, that result, or that conclusion with full assurance, without any doubt. So this kind of method is known as inference method. That is, to design the membership functions or to perform falsification operation, we use a set of statements, and based on those statements we arrive to some conclusion, and accordingly we design the membership functions, okay. Another method is inductive reasoning. This is just reverse of inference method. In case of inference method, we use some general statements to arrive to some specific conclusion, and that conclusion we say we 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 put that conclusion with full confidence, with full assurance. But in case of induction reasoning, we use some specific statements to arrive to some general conclusion, and that general conclusion is not fully assured, that is only probable, that is only approximate. Okay, here we, with a full confidence, we cannot say that our conclusion is true, rather it is approximate conclusion, it is a probable conclusion. Okay. For example, I say that I have a bag and I pull out a ball from that bag, and that ball is a red colored ball. I take another ball from the bag, and that is also a red colored ball. Okay. So one more ball is pulled out of the bag, and that ball is also a red colored ball. So by these three statements, I make a general statement that all the balls in this bag are red colored ball. Okay, but I am not fully sure, I am not assured that this statement is all true, because based on three statements, based on some specific incidents, I have tried to generalize the things. I have derived a general statements from two or three specific statements. Okay, so here the conclusion is probable conclusion, probable statement. Okay, it is not a, that it cannot be said with full assurance. Okay, so this is the difference between induction reasoning and inference. Okay, another method is rank ordering. Okay, rank ordering is a kind of polling, a kind of election. Okay, here we take opinion of multiple people, and based on those opinion we make some conclusion. Okay, suppose you have to purchase a car, so you talk about a person who is a salesman who deals in cars. Okay, you talk of another person who is a professional driver, one more person who is your neighbor and he is a owner of multiple cars, and there is another person like me who is having only one car. Okay, so you take opinion of different people and you rank them according to their ability. Okay, suppose considering the expertise of a salesman, you rank his or her opinion with rank number 1. Then you assign second ranking to the professional driver. Okay, you assign the third ranking to the opinion of the person who is the owner of multiple cars, and you assign the last ranking to the opinion of the person who is the owner of a single car. Okay, so based on the abilities, based on the expertise of the different person, you rank their opinion and then you draw some conclusion. Okay, so this method is known as rank ordering, and it is a kind of polling. Okay. There are some advanced methods which are based on neural networks and genetic algorithms. Okay, so both these two techniques we will discuss in more detail during the coming lectures. Okay, so that's all for today. These are the references that you can follow for further readings. Okay, thank you.